Well, it's that time of the week again,
These
folks.
headphones are squishing my fresh curls.
Aw.
You can make them bigger. I guess it doesn't matter.
You're all wrapped up over there. Do you want to take a second to kind of...
No, she's not
Okay,
wrapped
there you go.
anymore.
Okay, I guess it wasn't that bad. Was never that serious.
It was never really.
Welcome back to What the Podcast. I'm Ryan.
And I'm John.
And together we are...
Ryan and John. Let me just
Cheers.
Real quick. I got a wine glass. Isn't that awesome? That is classy.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I just grabbed it. You have your wine glasses
My mug situation
in the
is
same
a
cupboard
wreck.
as the mugs.
I
Yeah.
know. And it's crazy. I don't think we've ever had wine in those wine glasses ever in my
Only
life.
coffee.
Well,
So
yeah, 'cause
really-
when you and you know Annie will drink water out of them when she's too lazy to do the dishes.
That's fair.
So I get it. I respect
You
it.
guys have a dishwasher. I don't want to hear about too lazy for the dishes.
I know. I don't think I've ever lived in a place that didn't have a dishwasher.
Sometimes I think having a dishwasher makes you lazier. Also, who am I?
Oh my God. On the couch as
Good
always.
Lord.
Cara Tafolla. As you can tell, no Annie the Skovmand this week.
Can't
She
even
is,
see her. We don't have her camera on.
No, we won't even cut to
She's
her empty
boot
chair.
scooting boogieing.
She is in Austin, Texas.
Austin.
In Austin.
Whew. Wow.
Wow.
So there you go.
Boot scooting boogie.
The boot scooting boogie.
Did you guys hear that? Silence.
Oh,
Without Annie here. It's
I would never.
amazing.
I remember how I felt when I was not on the
amazing.
show briefly. So I'm not gonna.
I watched you
rip into
guys
her.
record the whole episode that I wasn't on through the cameras in my studio.
Did you?
Yeah, most of it.
That's weird.
I loved it. It's great. I want to see what you guys are talking
Okay.
about.
Did
'Cause I miss
did
you
we say
guys.
anything kind of?
No, I remember I sent a photo of you guys of the camera, and you guys moved the camera. You
Oh
unplugged
yeah,
it.
that's fair. That's
That's
true.
Took a picture of it and sent it to you guys. You're like, he's watching us.
you have too much control over your space. I
Well,
will say, or
I'd
not
say-
enough, depending on
How you
who
look
ask.
at it.
Yeah,
You know, that's true.
we just recently. I mean, we have a Ring
Yeah.
camera,
Uh-huh.
but we were out of town for a week, and my brother-in-law gave us these two Nest cams, and so I set one up in the living room to watch the cats because they, when we're gone, they just screw around all day long, and I just like to watch that when we're gone. I immediately felt weird about it because I was like, I don't know, just like even just having a camera on in the house, I'm a little like,
Well, Annie walked in too and was like, "Oh, you have a camera
and
right
that
there."
I think that made me
Yeah.
uncomfortable too. Like I was like, oh, it's not recording. Like I
just for
felt
the
like I had to be like,
cats.
no, it's just so I can watch my cats. Like it's not
Yeah.
weird.
I agree. Interior cameras are kind of strange. Well, I'll say I found ones that they're the company Wise, and I use them. But you can do a do not disturb mode, and they're like a 3-axis camera. But when you do it, like the camera folds in, it faces down, and it just looks like a little blob on the desk.
Oh, that's kind of
And
interesting.
it's kind of nice because, again, like when you're not using
Shutting
it,
down.
you're like it doesn't make people feel uncomfortable,
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, when I know, like when I've left, and I'm like, oh, I want to see what the dog's doing in the crate and make sure he's not, because he's an escape artist.
Isn't it
I'll
kind of
just
the
turn it
same
on.
as us tracking each other?
A little bit, but that's still has a layer of anonymity to it. Of like,
You could say,
oh, John's
something.
at this place. Like, what are you doing there?
When you're being recorded, I'm not worried about what it's seeing. I'm worried about what it's hearing. You know what I'm saying? Because like you were talking in the living room, and all of a sudden we start, going off
shit
about
talking about each
something,
other. Excuse my French.
Well, it's true. I mean, it happened. I'm just kidding. And that's kind of, I guess, more the fear for me because I'm not, being recorded, so-
Maybe that's you need to get that in check. How much you're talking about other people.
I know. I need to.
Yeah.
Well, it's
And
all
I
the
would
time.
never tell Annie this. She's a great friend.
Yeah, I would never tell
I
her
would
to face.
never say this to her face.
I hate that she's not here right now, but I would never say it.
She is.
She lights up my life. I would never tell her that.
I've never done that.
She is at the Austinite Market.
Oh, okay.
I'll say, Cara, you seem to be tracking the most out of all four of us.
I like checking my Sims.
I will check it if I'm in an area.
She's moving. She's on
Speaking
the
of
move.
tracking,
Annie does this all the time where she'll just be in Point Loma all of a sudden. And I'll be
Yeah.
like, hey, you're getting coffee at this place. Like, I'll come meet you. And she's like, oh, yeah, do it.
did you know that I was at the Pottery game on Wednesday when you were at the Pottery game? or
I
no?
didn't know.
Because I went to go check. My brother was parked in the car, and we were waiting for him. I was like seeing how far away it was, and then I went to go to find my, and you pop up right there, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's at the
You
game.
didn't say anything. I only know that because I sent you a
photo.
picture to brag
Well,
about
and
where
that's-
I was
Did you
sitting.
know?
And that's
Did
where
you
I
know
thought
you could track
I thought
and
you knew.
satellite see?
Yeah, you can do that, yeah.
Oh,
You
it's
know
like a
that?
Google Earth
Yeah, Google
moment.
Earth satellite, yeah.
You can
know
see
that?
she's literally standing on the corner.
Yeah. I
She's
thought you
crossing the
knew
street right now.
because you sent me that photo of how great your seats were, and I was like, oh, he knows I'm here. And then I sent you a photo of my
That's
seats, which were
funny.
not nearly as good as yours.
No,
But
of course not.
How'd you get those seats? What's up with that?
Oh, you got to know somebody.
You always know somebody. I know.
No, I just know people that know people. That's
Great game.
such a good game.
That was a 7-0.
How are you feeling about your season? It's not been a great weekend,
Yeah,
but yesterday was a good game.
Little Teeball talk here.
Yeah,
I
please.
think it's interesting because they were so hot,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh man, and we were like on pace with the Dodgers too. But when we lost, the Dodgers lost,
Right, and
so I
they
was
were
like,
they are
okay.
still one game ahead.
But
only technically.
But then we lost again, and they won. I thought, oh no, and then they lost yesterday, and we won yesterday. So then I was like, here's the thing about baseball, and I've said this before: you really can't look at the standings until like June, and then
At
you can start
least.
going, oh yeah, I guess we're like obviously,
and the summer's long too. I
Yeah,
mean, you got to really.
And the
August
Dodgers,
is when things really start kicking off.
and for all the Padre fans that think like the Dodgers are going to come in and smash, which there is a chance of that. I looked up how many times an MLB team has gone back-to-back World Series. It's happened like 3 times in baseball history. So the statistic of them, while it's fairly possible that
Sure.
they'll go into the postseason and potentially win, the probability of that is so, like, just from an outside perspective, no statistics on the players and all that stuff. It's so rare. It can happen.
We're living in a different age. So I mean, baseball people break records every year.
Yeah,
So
true.
it's like they're getting better. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of money in that team, but
Yeah.
I will say the numbers don't mean much.
Yeah.
But when was the last time we were over 6-0 at the beginning of a season? The Padres. It was like
So the last streak we had was 4-0, and the last time we did 4-0 to start a season was in 1984.
it was the year we went to the World Series.
The first time we went to the World Series.
Didn't win.
But we went to the World Series. And then they were saying, like, after that, we went 7-0 this season. Like, after that, this is all record-breaking for franchise for us.
I like it.
And so, it is what it is. I think we got a good team. I think also the Dodgers were humbled by the Phillies.
Yeah.
Like, they lost 2 out of 3. They got, like, all their major players got thrown out stealing a base, which is, like, rare because Shohei Ohtani got caught, like, maybe 3 times all last season, and he got caught twice in the Phillies series.
You love to see that.
Which is good, and so all that to say, like, it's a long season, it's gonna be fun. I'm just focusing on going to games and enjoying it.
Getting as many giveaways as possible.
Well, that's
Getting
kind of
as
always,
many-
that's kind of always my goal. Really.
Always. I'm already looking to the next bobblehead night.
I know Jackson Merrill bobblehead was really cool.
I'm on the hunt for some Padres merch that's not my uniform.
Okay.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't know, we didn't talk about it because it came out this week, last week, the end of last week. But Jackson Merrill signed a pretty record,
Love
9
it.
years.
not a record-breaking contract, but a very good contract.
A huge for your second
He's-
year out.
He's turning 22 this year.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
but I mean, you think about the
Baby.
money people are getting though. We got him on a steal. He's in the prime of
yeah.
his life, you guys.
Yeah.
He's only gonna get like a little bit
I
better
feel
and then
the
a lot
same way.
worse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then that's how players go. And
Sure.
he could have signed at least a $200, $300, $400 million contract. And he came here for $150 million. There's a lot of incentives. He has an incentive to make a lot of money, which is good. I like
you heard him on
incentive-based
the
contracts.
interview too. He said,
Yeah.
I love San Diego. I want to play here."
Yeah.
He's like, I could have. He's like, I love the money. Don't get me wrong. The money's a great part of it.
Yeah.
But I want to kind of establish myself here.
He said, I wanted to be treated fairly, and I wanted the number to make sense to build a team around me to win.
"Come on,
Who says that?
come on, young guy, 22 years old. You're thinking like a manager."
Juan Soto went out and took the biggest number he could
Yeah,
get.
that
He doesn't
sucks.
care about winning or where he is. He just wants the money. Jackson Merrill, he wants to win. I like that. I like that.
Because
Now
I
Also,
you-
think you
if you're
said
being
the entry
paid-
point was young.
yes.
If you're being paid well enough to stay in San Diego,
But guys do get greedy. You're right. I mean, what is enough?
Yeah.
300 million,
Well,
400 million.
I love Manny Machado. He's our captain as far as I'm concerned. But he signed a 10-year extension for $300 million. I'm like, dude, that guy, by the time he finishes that contract, he ain't playing.
He's gonna be a legend, though. I mean,
100%. That's why I say respect. He deserves it. But I'm saying like that. That's not a mentality of Jackson Merrill where it's like, I want to leave space for more people to come to win. He's trying to get his last bag.
That's right.
And I
His
respect
house
it, but
is crazy.
I know.
He lives in
I saw
Coronado,
it.
right?
I
I
saw
didn't see it
a
in
like
person.
virtual tour
Yeah.
of it. He literally lives
On the wall.
on the water, like when you're taking the ferry over Coronado
How are you
on
not
our
cold
side.
plunging in the ocean every day?
Oh, you are.
I'd be
definitely.
running and just jumping in the ocean and then taking a shower.
No, because he has a pool.
The paparazzi's found him now. The house across the street from him has a big sign that says like "We love you, Manny." Like,
oh wow.
so that's not the paparazzi. That's the neighbors. But
Well, people know where Joe Musgrove lives.
well,
Yeah.
sure.
Like,
yeah, I mean
I
they're
don't know.
high
I like
profile.
Jackson Merrill. He was kind of naive. He was probably a little naive to say this, but he's like, I don't know how I could even spend all that money, which is true. But I also think
figure it
like
out.
I think like the culture might get him. You know, like
he has
like
a
the
pretty
player
bougie
culture.
girlfriend too.
You start
so.
living that life, and then you're like, oh, maybe I do need a $50 million yacht. Like, oh shit,
I like him. I love him. I think
Yeah.
and this is what I've said this a lot about the Padres. This is the last thing I'll say on this because I know we don't. I don't want to spend the whole episode talking
It's
about
not
Padres,
not
but-
T-ball
but
talk or anything.
The one thing I really like about the Padres is I say this all the time. We are infatuated by the Tony Gwynn syndrome.
Yeah.
Like a player, Tony Gwynn, he was one of the greatest players to play the game easily. And he had the same thing. He had a really hot start, and he had a lot of offers from way bigger teams. And he said, no, I'm staying here. I'm staying in San Diego. I love this city. And we have now, as San Diego Padre fans, we have this expectation,
Mr.
which is
San
maybe
Diego.
unfair,
Yeah.
to say we expect players to stay and be the Tony Gwynn that we all knew and loved.
I don't think it's unfair. I think that every, freaking club in the whole MLB probably does the same thing where they've got their guys. And I think we do that with celebrities where it's like, just everybody. Like anyone's just like, oh, this guy's from our hometown. Like he's one of us.
Yeah.
Like this is one of ours. And he's out there, achieving.
Yeah.
And that's why, Tom Hanks is in the stands at Dodgers games keeping score.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I think the MLB too, they're really hot on trying to like get more fans now. And they're doing all these things to shorten the game because they think like, oh, the length of the game is what drives people away. I think the MLB, like the front office, the upper, the Royal MLB,
Sure.
should spend more
The
time
Royal
in how can we get fan bases or players to stick to fan bases, because I think that to me is much more of a draw, because that culture of like every year it's a different team, that sucks. It's literally the worst.
totally.
The Padres have done a little bit.
I think
of
they're
that
doing a great
secure,
job of that. Yeah.
but the MLB should really. I think they get more fans if they figured out a way that made sense to try and keep certain players in certain teams, because, like the Bryce Harper of the Phillies, the Manny Machado of the Padres, the Derek Jeter of the Yankees. You know, it's like long term players like that. I'm like, that to me is what fuels a fan base.
Hometown heroes.
Think,
Absolutely.
I think it's also a big thing about your stadium.
True.
Yeah, you got to.
I mean, we have the best stadium still.
You got to make it good for the fans to come and watch a game.
In the U.S.
Feel like
but
they're
it's
at home.
like, how easy is it to get to the stadium? All the
Yeah.
food options, all this, yeah.
And
comes down to this all, I
you
think.
guys are the resident coffee experts on the show, because you have a
Yes.
coffee car, as we mentioned.
Ooh, this
Mostra,
this
Uh-oh.
is controversial.
Mostra's in the park now.
Yeah.
Mostra coffee in the park.
I had a
Now,
Mostra coffee at the last game.
What'd you think?
What'd you
Mine-
get?
I got a iced vanilla latte. I
Okay.
took a photo, and
What was the color of it?
It was better than Ryan's. I'll say that.
The
much.
one that I got at the
Ryan's
Petco
was
Park.
literally milk.
Yeah, I heard
Mine
that, and I believe
tasted like milk that they walked through,
Yes.
like a coffee shop.
it. Okay, it looks light here, but it wasn't. It was a little darker than this. It was not milk.
See, that's
but-
that's about what I was rocking
it looks
with.
like they used half and half
Ah.
instead of like.
And I'll go ahead and
milk.
go on the record and say I've never had a bad coffee at an actual Mostra place.
Yeah, totally.
I love Mostra coffee.
Maybe they're not used to the like
Now,
volume.
I did look behind the counter, try to look up under the hood. Their machine is down,
Yeah, and they're just pulling shots.
and it's like a Starbucks model,
Yeah.
where they push a button and there's a little spout that pulls a shot.
so that could be it.
So I don't
The
rock
integrity
with
of
that.
integrity of the
personally.
shot is probably
Also, that
Not
you
good.
paid $10 for milk.
But we're talking about Petco Park here. I mean,
that's pretty good for pricing. I think for drinks. At
well, I
Petco
mean,
Park.
they can't afford not to have it like be a push button. You're telling me there's somebody back there pulling shots, like twisting handles and stuff?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I think you could. You're right. Efficiency probably not great, But I feel like I'd be more drawn to a coffee cart if I saw big machines. Because again, coffee culture. You have to realize coffee culture. It's like
We like seeing big machines.
we like seeing it, and we
That's
like
part
seeing
of it.
people slinging it. I mean, that's one of my favorite things to watch.
Even the push to start whatever machines,
Starbucks.
I still like seeing the machine.
I like
seeing the beans.
and they're steaming the milk, like the whole thing. Like I thought that is they would do well with that because as anybody, like I don't know I also don't think you're cornering the right market of people in the park because I'm like
I don't know if Mostra was the call. Like it makes me feel like they've
they're
kind of sold out.
They're
a
a
little
downtown coffee.
Are they
place.
downtown?
Yes.
Yeah, they are
Remember,
downtown.
they're
They
by
started
Sharp.
downtown.
Oh, there is one downtown.
because we were going downtown for a while before they opened the location closer. But yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I don't know.
It's kind of an interesting move. I think it's cool. I love that there is a coffee place because that's the one.
I do like
thing,
that too.
especially at a night game. Can you imagine you getting a nice little hot coffee, sitting in their seats and just. I mean,
man.
oh man, I remember at games I used to think that I know they probably have hot coffee somewhere.
That
but
Monday night game that we went to, where it was kind of misty, like
Awesome.
it wasn't raining, but like the rain was kind of moving.
Yep.
That away. Oh.
We've been at 2 games and not seen each other at the game.
We didn't link up.
Isn't that crazy?
Hey, we're
What is
Padres
wrong
fans.
with us?
We're just invested in the game. Is
Yeah,
the thing.
Monday's game was fun.
Ever since we started this coffee thing, I do look at I've fully have become a snob. The same thing where I can't I can't go to a concert without watching the guitarist now.
You
or
were
I'm like,
always
what
you
is
were
he
a
playing?
snob when I started doing coffee at Moniker.
100%.
Already.
But I feel it's amped up.
Yeah,
where I'm
I
like,
know. Well, yeah.
okay, what kind of syrups are you rocking with? You got the Monin syrups.
You got Monin syrup? No.
I'm
you got
out.
Tarani? That's a little bit of a bump up,
If
but
you're
still
not,
not good.
if you're not rocking a house-made syrup, I don't know if I can
Trust you.
trust it.
Yeah, and I respect
If I
it.
don't see your bean, what
for
beans
me,
you're doing.
For me, it's any syrup that comes out of a pump.
yeah.
Even if it's
Well, and
I don't
talk
know.
about your matcha too. I mean, you go to a place and they're doing a pre-sweetened matcha.
It's really so you don't like the pump
I've
action,
been
huh?
I've been burned by yeah, it needs to be by ounce. You need to be doing it by ounce because pumps, it's not a reliable amount coming out of every pump.
Sure,
Good to
if
know.
it's coming out kind of a different consistency or something.
If it's
to know.
thicker and the pump gets stuck in the
I
middle
put
and people
my
are trying to
syrups
pump
in,
fast.
my home syrups in pumps, but I hadn't considered that. Because I count the pumps for an ounce, and I was just like, okay, I do 15 in pumps.
if you're still measuring it, that's probably fine.
Yeah.
But the pump
It's
is
we put 4 pumps of this, but then when they're making it fast, the pump doesn't fill up all the way again. So you're getting like half of the
Oh.
amount.
yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good
Crazy.
To know. You guys learned a lot on the coffee cart over
Oh
there?
yeah, absolutely. I feel like we did our second pop-up this past weekend, and I really learned a lot from the first one. And this one, I felt like we were like full steam ahead.
I feel like
we were
Rocking it,
rocking.
huh?
I need to do a steaming course with you.
I think
Oh,
you're right.
what?
I'm still not really doing.
He doesn't
steam.
really know how to steam.
I can't do
The
it
machine?
consistently.
Yeah.
The machine that's different on the machine, maybe? Why?
It's different. Well,
Because you do a great steam milk on
It's-
our machine.
It's more pressure than the Breville's.
it's more
So it's
more pressure.
quicker.
Are you overdoing it, you think? Or
I think I overdid a few times where I'd make a drink and it was like
Too
either
foamy.
too foamy or not foamy enough.
Uh,
But I am like, I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to get.
no, you're doing great. I mean,
It's a
come on,
very
man.
milk
It's
is a
tough.
very delicate.
I'm striving for
thing.
excellence is the problem.
And, you're going to get there someday, soon. But, yeah, I mean, it's
But
cool.
we're receiving high marks from our people, which is great.
How many
tasting
coffees? But maybe you don't know the number. that
We
you sell
made
on
something
Friday.
like close to 50 drinks.
Whoa,
on Friday.
nice.
You tried to tally.
I tried to tell. I
And
kind of lost track.
question, and are you charging yet? Or are you still doing the open?
It was
concepts?
another open
financial.
pay what you can,
Okay.
and I think personally, it's paying off.
Oh, really?
I think we're making more money doing a pay what you can model because nobody is paying less than like $6 for a drink, maybe $5.
Yeah.
And some people are
Some
paying
people are overdoing it.
$20.
They're paying
Some
like
people are paying $10
$10 for a drink. I'm like,
$15 for a
what
drink.
coffee shop are you going to right now that you're paying $10
Well, I
for a
think
latte?
some of it is probably like they
The
support part
they
of it.
enjoy.
They got a cookie.
They enjoy it.
So, and I think that that's a good model for right now is like, hey, if you had a good coffee, pay for what you would.
Yeah.
I got a good coffee.
Because
if you had a great
because
coffee,
maybe your consistency's not there yet, and you don't want to worry about like, they pay $6.
sure.
and
I
then
think
it's a
we're
bad
basically
latte.
there, but I think
Good.
that I also like being able to let people pay what they want. Like
Yeah.
it's also can be inexpensive if you show
So when
up.
are you setting up at that soccer park on Saturday
know.
morning?
I need
'Cause
to-
That needs to be. I think you'd make a lot of money doing that.
We're at kind of a threshold here where the next step is taking it public.
Yep.
And
Well, you kind of went public this last time. It was on
yeah,
TikTok.
but it's
and-
still from kind of the comfort of my driveway,
Yeah.
where if anyone comes up and my biggest weird anxiety about the whole thing is that somebody's going to come up and be like, hey, so do you have your food handlers? Like, where's your permits for this? And like try to shut the whole thing down.
You think
because
do you think they have time for that? No.
I don't know, because Ocean Beach is full of like social justice warriors. Like I see it on the Facebook groups where they're like, oh, this isn't right. Like this needs to be changed.
Okay,
And-
but those people are fighting things that are like wrong.
Yeah, and it is from
This is
the
from all of our
convenience of their
neighbors.
computer,
It was like,
too.
I am so glad you guys are doing this.
yeah,
It's so
true.
fun
You're
for
right.
the community.
Absolutely.
Blah blah blah.
But I think that's what I mean is we're in the driveway. We're at our house. Like you can't mess with me in front of my
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
Now we go out somewhere,
How much is a food handler's? Oh, what?
it's not a lot, but I
It's
just need to
15
start
bucks.
doing it.
I
And I
have
don't know
mine.
if the cart is necessarily like there yet.
Yeah.
So there's some
Like-
things
like
I gotta
standards
do to
wise.
get it ready.
But I think you should. Well, and you also have to think logistically how to move that cart because that. I mean, you probably have
Sure.
a plan in your head, but you never maybe executed.
I
it.
think, yeah, it's
You know?
it's something that's the next step.
I'm
Is
telling you what. There's Santee Farmers Market. It happens in our church parking lot. I'm like, they have one little coffee cart. I'm like, you guys could totally.
Maybe I gotta
kill it.
check
You
that
guys
out.
could totally. It's like, it's got good coverage. It's probably. I don't know how much it is to have a booth, but I can't imagine. It's
I
not
have to
much.
say, our influencer friends, they have been really like pushing it's in front of their house, in their
Uh-huh.
driveway. Like,
Well, there's-
that's really cool.
and that's something I think I don't want to lose if we do.
No, I
like
mean, still-
take it is like
still
still
do
do
it.
like, hey, you can also catch us once or twice
Yeah.
a month.
But I think you have the potential to make a lot of money
Sure.
at a farmer's market or at a consistent like
Mm-hmm.
we go here and that's, you know what I'm saying? Because the pop-ups are certainly where you want, like your home pop-ups are certainly where I think you guys
Kind of where
like
you
it,
set
you know?
where we set the tone for the business.
Yeah,
Like this is our vibe. Like we're low key. And then when we take that out, it's like, oh, I know these guys. They're the ones that started out of their house.
I think maybe your next step. This is insider baseball. So if you're listening to this,
This
just
is
don't worry
so
about
inside
it.
baseball. By the way, thank you so much for listening.
Little House Coffee though.
if this is where you're tuning out, down below in our bio, our Patreon is gonna help us bring episodes to you. You can support us for $4 a month. That's $1 every month for each of these losers on the couch here.
Good.
That we just, we love making this show and we love talking about certain things.
Good
So
mid-roll, by the way.
thank you all so much.
Great mid-roll.
I had to
for
look
that.
at the camera because I was like, oh, are we already done?
No.
No.
I'm just doing a little mid roll.
A little mid-roll moment. Yeah, I think you guys can do great. I'm excited to see where it goes. It'll be super
Same.
fun. And owning a business is tough work.
I'll tell you what, they don't tell you how many expenses and even just the how much goes into a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is our second pop-up. Oh, we got to get another bag of coffee.
Jeez.
Oh, we got to get more milk. I'm back at Costco. Oh, we
Oh
need to
my
special order some
gosh.
oat milk. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
It's all happening.
Dang,
certainly.
you
But it's fun. It's a
guys.
lot of fun for me and
Yeah.
my wife. And I like working next to Cara too.
Yeah, you guys look super cute back there. I saw some photos of you guys.
Thank
working
you.
Back there.
Sometimes he stresses me out.
I'm like, you
How
guys
is
look
that?
like you're locked in, man.
How do I stress you out?
Just when I'm like, hey, you forgot to put syrup in here.
I know.
Hey, you forgot to take this out.
Here's the
To
problem.
clean it.
That's
Is-
the beauty of it, though.
Is
isn't
being
it?
the face.
Isn't
You
that
know,
the
it's not
beauty
easy
of
being
it,
the
though?
face. I start
You've
chatting
also
people up.
never worked in that
Never.
area.
Yeah, but here's what I want to say about
Never
that.
done a service job.
I think you guys. I know you're like kind of corporate coffee in the sense where you've worked in a little bit realm. I think the beauty of a coffee cart is you just develop your own thing. You know, like just because the milk goes on this side because that's how they trained you at Starbucks or
Yes.
whatever. It's like, yeah, I think.
But I
yeah.
know she's right, and I think that I know what I like and what I don't like at a coffee place.
Yeah, that's
What
true.
I don't like is somebody that's cold.
Yeah.
Somebody going, hey, what can I get you?
What do you want?
I don't like a bad cup of coffee. and I don't like when it takes a long time.
Yeah.
It doesn't take that long. Pull the shot, put the milk in, put the syrup in.
What's different
mix it
about
up, here you go.
our coffee cart, though, is it's all friends, it's all this, so we don't have to be.
I know, but I'm just saying, like,
So
as a
fast.
practice.
Oh yeah, if
that's-
you're gonna start slinging coffee in a random location or a farmer's market, you know. you
Oh
gotta
yeah, that's
pull it
when
up.
that's when
Absolutely.
You gotta
the
lock in. you
the
know?
what's it called? Ford.
Go ahead.
The line. What's it called? The Ford.
The assembly
Ford assembly
line.
Yeah.
Very
oh,
good.
Really?
That's when that kicks in.
Fortunately, yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. You guys are doing cool. It's cool. I mean, I never thought. Like a year ago, you guys started talking. Maybe a year ago now. No, maybe less. But when you
We've
guys
been
started
rapping
talking
about it for a while.
I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I think I was talking to Jordan. I was like, man, I hope they get this off the ground. And then like, I feels like out of nowhere, it just popped out. I was like, oh, geez.
What's funny is it's the furthest back I can remember talking about it is when we had Big Red, when we had the van. We were
Yes.
like, hey, what if we did this thing where we build it out and it's a coffee cart out of the van? You know, we kind of started talking about that, and then it fizzled out when we sold the van, obviously. And then we got this card, and it started just kind of picking back up again. And yeah, it's been really an exciting thing.
And then someday you'll be in Petco Park slinging coffee.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That's sick.
And then I'll
Awesome.
sell out. I'll be like, yeah, we're just gonna do the machine now. We just push the button, coffee coming out.
Yeah. They're like, but you used to rave all the time about how much you hated it. No.
No. John,
fine.
if you can believe it, today,
Yes.
10 years ago,
I know.
I started dating my wife, Cara.
Wow. 10 years.
2015.
Applause.
Yeah, big applause for that.
You guys are so cute. 10 years.
Thank you. And she stayed with me through every
I know.
idea and small business
I
and
know. It's amazing.
crazy thing.
Are you guys, 10 years. How are you guys feeling? Really?
This
Cara,
is,
how are you
we
feeling?
need Annie. This is relationship tracker. 10 years later.
True.
By the way,
Cara,
check
how you
out
feeling about 10
Grandkids with
years?
Annie.
You're, I know you're a big anniversary person.
I'm a
'Cause you're
big
the one-
anniversary
You're the one
person,
driving
yes.
this thing, really. I mean, I know it's a big one, but
Yes.
how do you feel?
Great.
What you got? Any big takeaways after 10 years of hanging out with me?
I don't know how it's been 10 years. I feel old.
That's how I feel. A
What the heck?
decade, an entire decade.
Yeah, wild.
I'm like, does it not feel that fast because
We're so in love.
we didn't live together the whole
Okay.
time?
love.
Heard.
We're so in love.
Heard.
That's so good.
Because like the start of it was no, because I went to LA.
We've
I don't
lived
know.
a lot of lives.
It doesn't
we've
feel
lived
like that
together.
long.
You guys, I love it. Jordan,
Don't pet me my sandal with your
Hey,
sandal.
shh.
Stop it.
Nobody can see that.
Stop it.
Nobody
Stop.
can see that.
Let it happen.
He
Yeah.
lets me do his nails now.
That is sweet. That is so
Oh,
sweet.
you've been doing my
you
nails
guys.
for some time now.
Yeah.
I support your small businesses.
Yeah. Get your nails done.
By the way, check out Sunkissed Jewelry on Instagram.
Yeah. No kidding.
So what do you think, John? What's in 10 years? How's your past 10 years been? What do the next 10 years look like
That's
for
a
you?
good question. We're pretty quickly approaching 10 years of lip sync battle, which will be the end of lip sync battle.
Awesome.
And
Not awesome that it's ending. I'm
no,
not happy about
yeah,
that.
I kind of use that as like a marker for me because I started when I was 21 and I'll be 30 when it's all over. But yeah, I mean, 10 years ago, I mean, if you think about that, 10 years ago, yeah, lots changed. Met the love of my life, about to have a kid this August,
Awesome.
and so yeah, I mean, it's crazy how your perspective on life changes.
Yes.
Because 10 years ago, and you might have this experience too. Like, I was really driven, to like, oh, I want to be somebody. I want to be famous, or not. I want to make a lot of money. Like there was a lot of things that you wanted to do. Your eyes were super big on life, and not that they're small now, but now there's like a reality 10 years later where you're like, I'm happy. I have
Things
have a
that
home.
seemed so important
Yeah.
aren't as important now, and things that were like, oh, I'm not, this isn't super significant to me or whatever, are like the best parts of my life.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and I think the same thing. I'm like I I'm lucky enough to own a home, but even before we owned a home, I was lucky. I was like, we have a place to
Gosh,
live.
that is awesome.
We have money in the bank. We have food in our cabinets, and and everyone's seemingly healthy and doing well. And so, it's interesting. That perspective is huge, and I'm interested to see in the next 10 years how much that even changes more.
Because then too, like 10 years felt like a lot of life, like an entire thing of like, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Yep.
And when you're now we're pushing 30. When you're 20, that's half of your life. But now 10 years is only a third of your life.
Yeah. Crazy.
It's that thing where as you get older, every year is a smaller piece of your life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think you talk about with a partner too, that like marker of like where you've been with the same person for longer than you've been without them. That's kind of interesting.
And you can't like bullshit them anymore because they're like, no, that's not how you were.
Yeah, because we're going to be 29 this year, and you're celebrating 10 years. You knew Cara a lot longer, probably before that you guys started dating.
Yeah, totally.
But and so that puts you at a 19-year split, really. So and 10 more years, you're almost closer. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. I don't know. It'll be 20 years on 39. So yeah, then you're closer to basically almost there.
I'm excited for you guys, man. You're about to expand your family.
Yeah, that's gonna be the craziest thing. That's the hardest thing to like wrap your mind around.
Totally.
Because, I see people do it. I have kids. My brother and my sister had kids, and we even have friends in our small group that are having kids now. One had a kid a month ago, and the other couple is about to have a kid any day now. And you start to go, oh, okay. And I like see them at church, and they're holding this like 3-week-old baby, and I'm going, that is crazy. Like that in a couple months, that's going to be us, and how much
like,
your life changes.
Literally, chemically.
Yep.
Your love for Jordan is going to be so insignificant compared to your love for your kid. Like it happens. Like people are like, oh, I don't really see that happening. Like, oh, I love my wife or I love my partner. And it's like, oh, nope, this is the most important thing in my life.
Yeah. It's interesting because it definitely, it's almost like it evolves, I think. Because even now when she's pregnant, I'm looking at her going like, I'm anticipating my brain chemistry to change when this baby comes. But I'm also like, I'm already looking at Jordan in a totally different way of like, oh, like, of course I always loved you and I've never thought about not loving you. But now it's like, now there's this layer of we've made this thing together, and she's about to do this really hard thing of giving birth, and like, she's going to be a rock star. I know she is.
Yeah.
And so that's like a new layer. Because I saw my buddy who just had the baby, and he was like, my wife is a rock star. He's like, I don't know how she did it. Like he's like, I was there. He's like, but I just don't know how. Like, he's like, I don't think I could ever do what she did in that moment. And so I was like, that's kind of interesting. I'm interested to see how that changes slightly. But I don't know. When are you guys having kids?
Any day now.
I just pushed it back, huh?
Yeah,
Oh,
just another 6 months.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Another 6
I
months?
was about to say.
I have a feeling your parents have pushed it like 10 years, so I'm not worried about
Yeah, just throw.
They've pushed it
throw your
until
6 months
we
up
can't
on
have
top
kids
again.
anymore.
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I'm
one more person now for
completely
me.
infertile, actually. So.
Oh well, someday you guys will have
I don't know if we
just don't have kids so late that my kids are not in the same realm.
Banking on the fact that your kids are going to be babysitting my kids. That's going to be kind of the thing.
It's what 10 more? It's 10 years.
Free babysitter, right? I mean,
maybe
perfect.
15 actually, because my kid's got to be. My oldest has got to be 15 to probably babysit. So.
No. When we were 10, we were babysitting.
Really?
Not 10.
I think the first person I babysat, I think I was like 14.
No, that's why you have siblings, so that they can just,
Yeah, I guess
play
I
with each
babysat
other,
them.
watch each other.
Yeah, watch each other, huh?
Yeah. You watch him, he watch you.
What's the oldest kid has to be before you can leave him alone?
Alone?
I would say 12.
Just for like a trip to the grocery store. No, nothing
Oh,
crazy.
trip to the grocery store.
You think 12?
Maybe 12.
I met a 10-year-old. I didn't meet her, but I've known her. It was my friend's kid. But and I was just sitting with her, and I was like, I think you could stay home alone. She was 10.
I think it depends on the kid.
Like, yeah, it's
I think it also
responsibility.
depends on where you're going.
My dad tells this story of how his grandma would tie a note to his shirt, pin a note to his shirt that said, like, please sell him a pack of Marlboro Reds. And she'd send him at like 6 years old, 7 years old, send him to the corner store, give the money to the guy. He'd give pack of smokes. Here you go, kid. And then he'd take it back to grandma.
Oh, wow. I love that.
And I
That's
support
awesome. Yeah, come on,
I don't
guys.
know.
Why are we so strict on cigarettes nowadays?
I
huh?
think not the cigarettes part, but no, you know what? You're right. If we're gonna go back to the 70s, we need it all. We need all the 70s.
What was the part? What was the part?
I don't know. I think like that
How old was
makes
he, though?
kids. He was probably 6 or 7.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
I was thinking 10.
No,
no,
no.
6 or 7.
I think he was
It's
6 or 7.
crazy.
He might have been younger, actually.
That is like Levi. I'm about to Levi
Totally.
walking to
Thank
the
you.
corner store.
Holding a pack of cigarettes. Here you go, Grandma. For your mom, no less.
Oh, no.
Awesome.
Ugh, wild.
But I think I don't know. I run the risk of sounding like I'm like, kids today like don't have that. But I think that you do instill that in a generation. Like you have to be like, hey, like you know, I don't know. But maybe not.
Maybe not.
But maybe it's all for nothing.
maybe it
And
doesn't
the
matter.
pendulum will swing. Oh man.
What's happening in the news?
I
these
was
days,
just
huh?
checking. Nothing great.
Nothing great.
Worst.
That's true.
Hey, I do wonder about Annie's stocks because we did have the worst stock market week since 2020, since COVID.
You think tobacco took a hit? I don't think so.
I think tobacco will probably be fine.
I think tobacco probably went up.
And of course, the executive branch has been moving the goalpost where they're saying that actually no, this is fine. We inherited a bad economy, just like last time. You remember last time.
Yeah.
And the stock market's going to be fine. It's going to even out. And I want to believe that. I definitely do. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's so crazy. Like, I don't know how we believe anything politicians say anymore. Like, can you control it? I mean, obviously this specific thing is about the tariffs.
I mean, we're
That's
talking
obviously,
sweeping tariffs at basically every country in the world that we trade with, no less than a 10% tax tariff on them, which just means that they're going to raise their prices and everything's going to be more expensive. But I mean, we're talking some people 20%, 30%, 45% increase.
Yeah.
And basically everything you buy is imported from China or Vietnam or different countries like that. The European Union, they got a hit with a 30% tariff or something like that.
Wild.
As if they're going to just start dishing that out. But really, it just ends up making everything more expensive on the home front.
Sure.
So I'm like
What's
really having a hard time with understanding that. Like, okay, no, you're literally making everything more expensive. quite literally. Immediately.
I don't get it either. I don't understand it, but someday.
But I don't have to, luckily.
I don't know, man.
They
It'd be
didn't
interesting.
nominate me.
Yeah, good thing we don't work in corporate America anymore.
We'll take a pause for Val Kilmer, R.I.P. this week.
And Dennis the Menace.
But not the one I'm thinking of, right? Not the kid in the cartoon, or not the cartoon. Sorry, they made a movie in the '90s, I think, a Dennis the Menace.
I
movie.
think it's the original.
there was like an old timey show, Dennis the Menace, right?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Oh, we're at some power.
Top Gun mean anything to you, John?
Yeah.
Big fan of
I
Top
remember
Gun?
when it was.
Doc Holliday.
I remember when it was a big deal
What's that
because when
movie?
they were making the new one, he lost his voice.
Yes, he had
He had a
some kind of illness.
I think it was a vocal cord.
I think he finally succumbed to it.
I thought he had throat cancer.
Throat cancer. Yes.
And he ended up having to have like a huge surgery, and it changed like
so
the way he talks his
they
entire
AI'd
life.
his voice.
Yeah.
And it kind of showed in the video.
He
movie, I'll
passed
say.
away of pneumonia.
So he was a little
Yeah, immunocompromised. Yeah.
Oh, no. Isn't that crazy that like a guy like that survived COVID?
Sure.
Because COVID was killing immunocompromised people like crazy. Like
Yeah.
it really went after. It was a lot of people died just because they they had weakened immune systems. But
And you get like the flu or
he must
like
have
something.
been locked down in COVID. Oof.
Yeah.
Lockdown.
I mean, I would have if I was had immuno stuff. That's terrible.
You would? Would you just choose to?
Well, we were all.
If I have
locked
a
down.
mansion,
We were all
Yes.
locked down. I mean, that was the thing that I was coming to understand when we were coming out of COVID. And I was like, why are people still like wearing masks, like we have a vaccine. But then I was like, you start to realize, oh, there's a lot of people out there that are still at a very high risk.
Still to this day, I see people wearing
And-
masks out in public.
So you got to respect the mask. It is what it is.
I don't mind it. I'm like, do whatever you want.
I
It
wasn't-
became so weird and hot
I wasn't
button.
judging them. I was just like,
No.
should I be wearing a mask? Like,
Totally.
my thing, I was like, are we not as clear as I thought we were? And then you go, oh no, like these people are just.
I
at a
think
greater
in
risk.
2025, the year of our Lord, people just be wearing them out.
Which is cool. Go
when
for it.
when it's flu season or something. I mean, you got to protect
Oh.
yourself,
There it
and
is.
you have to protect yourself with your boredom. Cure your boredom with a little thing called Patreon. Folks, you can get full access to this show for just $4 a month. All right, you can go down to the link in the bio and you're gonna see our Patreon page. You're gonna get access to the post show. That's a little extra podcast we do every week. We rap about different things. This week we're gonna talk about the Minecraft movie, a little Jack Black action going on. So for $4 you can support us, watch all that content, and all of that money goes directly into our pockets to keep this show going. So thank you so much to our Patreon supporters.
Woo.
I thought that was pretty good. Pretty
That was
locked
tight,
in.
man. That was awesome.
Hey, I went to Lockdownville.
Yeah.
Everybody said they knew you. You're locking in, man. I appreciate
Yeah, I
it.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Am I saying locked in too much? Is that why?
No,
Oh.
you are. I'm observing that in you, man.
Oh,
You're locked
wow,
in.
Thank you.
All right.
That is so sweet. I appreciate that.
Hey, I'm just out here talking truth.
You are.
True facts.
You
Spitting
are.
truth.
I really appreciate that.
Artie the podcast dog being adorable over there on the
Taking
couch.
an effort.
Guys, great episode this week. Talking about stuff and things.
Annie?
Just a nice little recap. Annie, we miss you. Wish you were here, but
Don't lie to her. Come on.
but no great loss. She's off doing her thing.
She's
living her
jet
best.
setting, I'll tell you that much.
Tell you what. She's in that season where all of her friends are getting married.
Oof.
She's at bachelorette party after bachelorette party.
Financially ruined.
Couldn't
Guarantee.
be me.
Guarantee she's financially
been there,
ruined.
done that. I said, Annie, I'm going to challenge you. I talked to her on the phone yesterday. I said, I'm going to challenge you to have a great time this week. I know that's going to be hard for you.
Yeah.
I need you to just lock in and have fun. She said, oh, I know.
She's in the land of cowboy hats and boots. She's fine.
She's buying a round of green T-shirts right now.
She probably is.
She's
That's actually
fine.
legit.
Yep.
What should we bet that she brings us back something?
She asked me if I wanted anything. And I said, yeah, a little boot.
What the hell?
She's
didn't
gonna
ask me
she's
what
gonna
I
bring one
wanted.
for you guys too, obviously.
Let's see.
Oh well.
Dude, I'll lose it. I will lose
Time
it.
will tell. If you don't get something,
Yeah.
you're gonna get something.
All right, I can't wait.
Tiny little boot.
Hey, little boo.
On the couch as always, Cara Tafolla, Artie the podcast dog. I'm Ryan.
I'm John.
And we'll see you next week on
What the Podcast.
Thank you, Cara. Because last week,
That was with your full
last
chest.
week,
Oh.
I watched it. Last week you went,
What the Is that true?
Well,
because
Yeah.
I had to check the audio sync so much, I literally watched it. And Cara was
I was
like,
tired last week.
That's all right.
It's all right. It's all right. We'll let
It
it
was
slide.
early last week.
Bye.